If you could tell everyone that's in this business to do one thing for me, and it's not about anything else, but don't steal plugins. When people steal music and they steal plugins and they steal, it's stealing, and it's not cool. If people keep stealing, this is all going to end. Let's be honest, because the music business has taken such a hit because of backdoor stealing that we're lucky we even have jobs anymore.
It's Jaunti, boy.
Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Jaunti. Welcome back to the channel. I'm back here with a new video. If you're new to the channel, you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified on new videos when I upload them. And also give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button for your boy. I really appreciate it. For this video, we're going to be talking about cracked plugins. And for those who are not aware of what cracked plugins are, it's another word for stealing plugins, pirating plugins, or pretty much getting plugins in the illegal way, you know, the unofficial. So I can't say every person in the industry or in or outside of the industry, ones that work from their own studios, homemade studios, bedroom studios, whatever you want to call it. I can't speak for everyone because not everyone knows what they are and not everyone actually had their hands on them. I'll be the first to raise my hand and say guilty. Yes, I've owned cracked plugins before. I even had cracked software plugins years ago. I'm here to tell you guys that there's some people on here who are watching probably owns one or more cracked plugins. And I'm here to advise you to let you know that it's not good. The reason why I say it's not good because there are plenty of reasons why having cracked plugins are not good for you. One, it's unofficial, meaning you did not get it from the manufacturer, so they don't know that you have a copy of the plugin. So you cannot get any updates. They cannot, they can't like fix you through anything. They can't troubleshoot any type of material of your cracked plugin because one, they don't know about it. Two, you didn't pay them. And three, it could cause a lot of damage or even problems to your computer. Like some people might think, oh, if you cracked a plugin, it shouldn't give you a virus. That might be true, but it could also malfunction. There's one guy who mentioned once before, he mentioned that he had a cracked plugin once, and then like when he opened up his DAW, certain tracks, like certain audio channels were not functioning correctly. And it's like every time when he closed it and reopened it, it kept messing up. So one day he decided to just uninstall the cracked plugin and it went back to normal. Yes, having cracked plugins can actually mess up your DAW or worse, your whole entire computer. It's not fair to the people who create it because one, they're not making any type of revenue from it. They're not making any money from it. And before you know it, if all the producers, engineers, artists, anybody in the industry, if anybody were collecting cracked plugins, that would be the end of it. It'll come to an end of us making music from our own homes because we don't have the software plugins to actually help us create our music. Compose, produce, engineer, mix and master, edit, whatever you want to, whatever you name it. It's ridiculous how there are people out there who are still doing this to this day. I would say stop doing that and just go ahead and buy it. Now, I'll tell you a little quick story about me. Back in 2014, I became a born-again Christian. I was rebaptized. I always had this mindset, if you really want something, go ahead and earn it, go get it. And I was working in security, and I remember doing my rounds, and then I got an email from Berklee College of Music. I applied to go to their school, and I got accepted. One of the classes that I had to take, the syllabus said you have to have a legitimate copy of Waves. Now, one of my old videos, I mentioned that I bought the Horizon bundle from Waves. Back then, they were more expensive than they are now. It was ridiculously expensive. Right now, I think it's, if you catch it on a good day where it's on sale, you can get it by $200, $300, $400, $500, probably even less than that. Back then, the retail price was about $3,800. close to 4 if you want to include taxes. First thought came to mind was, how am I going to afford this? Going to Berkeley is not cheap at all. Pretty much any other school, music school like Berkeley, not cheap at all. So I had a cracked version of Waves, but I didn't know if they were going to detect that through the online classes, my DAW. So I wanted to make things right. I wanted to be fair. I was a born-again Christian. I told myself I'm not going back to that life that I had once before, having everything cracked. So I went ahead and brought it for $1,800 off of eBay from an authorized seller. And I put in the serial number through Waves. It was legit. Got the plugins, and I fell in love with it ever since. Now I told myself I wasn't going to crack anything else from that point on ever again. There was one plugin that I was scared to get rid of because I loved it, but there was no Mac version of it back then. There was no Mac version. I was on Mac. And that was Nexus. Yes, you heard me right. Nexus. I had Nexus 2. People were wondering, how would I have all this stuff on my Mac? Because back then, Mac was not compatible with those type of plugins. Yes, VFX Nexus 2 was not compatible with Mac back in 2014. So if you look at one of my first few videos on my YouTube channel, I had FL Studios on an old iMac. FL Studios wasn't even compatible on a Mac. I had something called Boot Camp where it splits the hard drive in half, and you can add any type of OS system on it. You can add any type of operating system. I had Mac and Windows on the same computer. And I had cracked version of FL Studios. And not to sound all greedy and whatnot, but I couldn't afford it. I couldn't find a job. This is like when I first moved back home from Texas. My home here in New Orleans, I moved back from Texas. I couldn't find a job. I had to find a way to make some kind of income. And I still wasn't even making any money. I was desperate. But I don't condone that. If you're desperate for something that you really want so bad, try your absolute best. Try your hardest to go and get it. Don't steal it. I will not condone that. I learned my lesson. I paid the price, because the price was, I went ahead and paid for that Horizon bundle from Waves, $1,800. And it took me not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, definitely not 5, but 6 years to pay it off. I was drowning in debt. I lost my job. I got sick. I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I almost went blind. I was scared and desperate for money. I'm here to let you know right now, what goes around comes around. As a man of faith, God puts you through tough situations so you can learn your lesson, so you won't be able to make that same mistake ever again in the future. That's how I see it. But other than that, even one of my other videos that you guys probably haven't come across yet, there's a video of me working in someone else's studio on Pro Tools 12. Not my equipment, but that Pro Tools 12 was also cracked. I was working with a producer who I felt very skeptical of, because he told me he didn't buy not one piece of software equipment in his studio. Everything was cracked. Everything. So if you work with somebody who has nothing but cracked plugins, how can you do business with them not knowing that they might try to screw over you? I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Some plugins you could rent to own. You could just try them out. Borrow meaning try the demo for a whole week or so, or for a whole month, based on the time limit that they'll give you. Try it out before you buy it. Just don't steal it. Yes, plugins are expensive, but it's called making an investment. That's how it is when you own your own studio. You have to make an investment, and make sure you're up to par. Make sure you're up to your payments. But just go ahead and buy them. Even Curtis King made a video about him cracking FL Studios, and ImageLine, the company that created FL Studio, was going after him. He could have lost everything. It's a scary world out there, but if you're doing something that you have no business doing, then by all means, you get what you deserve. Think about it. Would you want someone to steal from you that you worked very hard for? No. So why be fair for someone to steal from you if you want to steal from them? Yeah, so I paid everything off. Everything that I had that was cracked, I paid for it. Knowing that if you keep doing what you're doing, you're making good music, you're helping people out, of course, it's going to pay off. I'm an engineer. I got better over time. I mean, I want the best. I want the industry standard quality of my music. Go ahead and buy the best. You got to be careful what you're doing these days, because as a producer, it wouldn't feel right to me to make music for people to listen to and they want to buy it. When it comes to making beats, mixing, mastering music, video editing, anything in that nature. If you steal something knowing that this is hurting the company, it's costing them money, and you're taking money out of their own pockets, it wouldn't be true to your own craft. Everything that you're doing, it wouldn't be natural. It wouldn't be right. If I'm a producer and I steal millions of plugins and I make some nice beats and I make money off of it, deep inside you're hurting your soul. Because you know what you're doing is not right. Back then when there was LimeWire and FrostWire where people could illegally download music, I stopped doing that. So I started, before Apple Music, Spotify, and all the streaming platform services were coming out, I was buying the albums. I was buying the songs that I liked the most. If you want something, go get it. Go earn it. Don't steal it. There are so many plugins out there that could be easily pirated. That can be easily stolen. Easily cracked. Me, for instance, there are plugin bundles that I wanted to get so bad back then. Sound Toys, FabFilter. But those cost so much money. So you know what you do? If you have a credit card, or if there's a type of payment plan that they offer, take advantage of it. And you're paying it right back, so in that way you won't have to spend everything up front, let alone you're saving money right there. I remember one time I went on eBay and I tried to see if I could buy someone's license from them. Because there are some companies that they'll let you transfer your own licenses. The only thing you have to pay for is just the transfer fee. So if you paid for a bundle for like $500-$600, you could charge you for $700 to $800, or probably less than that. You give them your plugins and you just take the cash. You take the money. Before I know it, I said, hey, Jaunti, why not just go online and see if someone is willing to transfer that license to you? And that's what I did. I went on eBay. One guy was willing to sell his for $50. And we all know FabFilter plugins are not cheap. Hundreds of dollars. The whole bundle, I think, cost like $1,000. I'm not so sure. It could be less than that. Don't quote me on that. For $50. I'm like, okay, cool. But the first red flag was he sent me a code to copy and paste. I'm like, well, I need a code for it if you're going to transfer the license. He sent me the code. I copy and pasted in the installation process. And that was it. I didn't even have to register it. I didn't even have to create an account with FabFilter. So first thought came to mind was, this guy sent me a pair of cracked plugins. There are some people out there that will sell cracked plugins. And I can't believe how eBay would just allow that, because there's so many people who are selling cracked plugins on eBay. And FabFilter have some amazing plugins, but I gotta admit, they are expensive. But if you have the money, why not go ahead and get it? You can go on sweetwater.com and make payments on it. If you have good credit, why not just make payments on it with your credit card? You'll be doing yourself a favor, and for the company. So I told the dude, I said, hey man, all differences aside, these are cracked plugins you sent me. How about you just give me my money back and I won't report you? He said, okay. He said, man, I can't promise you though, once you do that, you won't be able to have any access to the plugins anymore. I said, I don't care. What you're doing is not right. So you know what I did? I waited till Black Friday came. I waited till the price went down, and then I went ahead and got it. So I got it a lot cheaper than what they normally charge. And now I own FabFilter plugins. It's not that hard for you to get some out there if you just put your mind to it. You shouldn't be stealing anything. Surprisingly, Image Line didn't come after me the way they went after Curtis King. He could have lost everything. They could have sued him for everything. Same for me, if they knew what I was doing. But they're not aware of what you're doing because there's so many people out there who are sneaky with it. It's not fair. It's not right at all. I mean, before you do anything like that, before you take matters in your own hand, check and see if you could try it out first. Check and see if they have a trial. If they don't have a trial, check and see if they have a money-back guarantee policy. Go ahead and buy it and try it out. If you don't like it, then let them know that you don't like it. You want your money back, and then they'll deactivate the whole entire plugin on your system. And then that way, everyone's happy. At least you try it out. Or if they don't have anything in that nature, if they don't have a money-back guarantee policy, go online and watch the video reviews of other people who are trying them out. Me, for instance, I try out plugins from Native Instruments all the time, and Native Instruments do not have a trial. Some of the expansion plugins that I want to try out so bad, the expansion packs I meant to say, could be like from $60 to $100. I want to try them out, but I can't try them out if I don't have the money. So what I do, I go online and I check it out. DDS, one of my favorite producers, he does a lot of reviews on Native Instruments material. I watch his video to see if that's something I want to get. Do your research first before you do anything selfish. Cracked plugins are not your best friend. And besides, why have cracked plugins for something that you can't own? Because you cannot update them, and if you update anything else on your OS, it can also mess up. It can also trigger the cracked plugins. It could create a whole entire malfunction on your DAW. So you're setting yourself up for failure, and that can lose you a lot of money as well. That's just my opinion on it. You guys let me know in the comment section below. Have you used cracked plugins at all? If you're still using them, or if you just buy the plugin straight from the manufacturer, let me know in the comment section below. Once again, it's your boy Jaunti. I'm signing off. You guys have a blessed one. I love you. God loves you more. Stay blessed, and peace out.